It is a very cool comedy show, and all the comics you're seeing tonight are getting ready for Just Relax taping tomorrow.
Hey.
Yeah, so it's going to be really exciting. Try not to heckle them and slap them, except remember because it's in the news that somebody got slapped. Doesn't matter. Anyway, this is just be sure not to like heckle the comics or anything because they're running their sets. They're big taping tomorrow. Does that sound okay to you? Yeah. Very, very good. You're not going to harass them? I don't know why I'm singling you out, but you know, I'm glad that you're not going to. But I'll keep my eyes on you. No, don't let them. I don't know. And I'm Sophie. I'm your host. I'm just going to be up here warming you up, and then I'll be introducing everybody. I'm from Vancouver, but I just moved to America, and they're doing something. They're gonna be fine. They're gonna overcome. I didn't really know anything about America before I moved there. I just kind of like got there, started doing shows, like touring around. I just came from doing shows in Austin, Texas, and I had never been to South America before. So that was cool. And I told them that when I was there, and there was like this big guy in the front that was like, "This ain't no South America." And I was like, "Oh, I don't understand your accent. Lo siento." Right. But it is really weird. Like I definitely like never learned anything about America, and I feel like that's kind of surprising because we're Canada. Who would learn about them? But like in school, like we did, like what did we learn? That we learned that they did slavery. Yeah, we heard about it. Big trouble. And it's very interesting because they don't learn about that at their school. So altogether we got full curriculum. So we know that about them and what else? Like Americans also we know are fat. And also they have guns. Right? What an interesting group of people. It honestly makes sense why they have so many guns. Everyone's calling them fat. Around the world, but I think that all fat people should be armed. I think that would finally solve fat phobia. Right?
Let's arm our tummy.
Remember how I said not to talk at all? But that's okay with me. It's okay with me, but if you do it one more time, like that, I'll be like that. Just kidding. What was it you said? That's what I thought. We need the story, Heckler. Thank you for coming. Okay, let's just switch gears. How about this? So, one thing that I started doing since the pandemic began that I did not previously enjoy is now I love to check my junk email. Now that's very fun for me. I don't know if you guys are checking your spam, but there's nothing in there. I'm always like, ooh, maybe there's a job offer, you know what I mean? But that's just unemployed behavior. That's where SNL is hiding, I bet. No, it's just like, I think I'm just like addicted to scrolling. And sometimes you run out of the good stuff on social media, so you go to the junkyard. And I keep getting this same junk email over and over again that's like very threatening. They're trying to threaten me in my own junk email. This is what they say to me every day. Every day I get this email. They're like, hey, guess what? We hacked into your webcam in your laptop and we recorded a video of you masturbating. That's what they say to me. And I don't know what these people think I look like masturbating, but it does not play well on camera. Okay, I mean, the ladies know. Right, ladies? You know, like, it's not hot. It's not sexy how we do it. We're not moving around. There's not positions. When girls masturbate, you're just in your bed, like. Under your grandmother's quilt. Like, you look dead. You're so dead. And then at the end, you're like. It's not good visual content. title. It's like, woman comes back from the dead. Wow. Oh, cool. It just doesn't look like anything when we do it. It's so different when men masturbate. It's horrible. Disgusting. It's very uncivilized. It's hard. When men masturbate, they tense every single muscle in their body. It's like, smile, babe. It's supposed to be fun. It's so tense. If you see a man masturbating, you can push him over and he'll shatter. It's like, relax your body. When we do it, it's just classy. And I think that's why there hasn't been any female Louis C.K. situations, because I jerk off in front of all my openers. They just don't notice. I'm doing it right now. It feels great. Have you ever just pulled up your pants a little bit too high? You're like, oh my god. I'm a cigarette. Okay, I'll do one more and then we'll get the show started. How does that sound? You guys are giving me a great audience, much better than the early show, right? So, okay, I'm Jewish, and during the year, that like, I'm Jewish, everyone's like, oh. But I'm Jewish, but in a cute way. And my parents are not together, so like during the year I'd be with my mom and we'd do Jewish stuff, like complain. And then I spent summers with my dad and his family, and they're Catholic. So in the summer I would do Catholic things, I would like complain about Jews. And all other religions. Every summer my Catholic family would send me to Catholic summer horse camp. It's what you're picturing. It's like a sleepaway camp in the summer where you ride horses and you love the Lord instead of getting a boyfriend. But I went to this camp for so long. I went so many years that I became too old to be a camper there. I became a camp counselor at Catholic summer horse camp, and it's just a mess. Like, I'm Jewish. They're all Catholic. The horses are Muslim. Like, we're all looking at each other like, why are we here? And, I was just at a Catholic wedding. Someone in my family was getting married. And, at Catholic weddings, they do it like at the church. And there's always at one point when everyone gets tired from all the singing in Latin. And y'all go line up in the middle to get your cracker at the front, right? And I'm excited, I'm hungry, I need a little mosh. So I'm waiting, and then my aunt comes up to me, and I have this aunt that I hate. She's my aunt, she's Catholic, she's a doctor. I feel like you get it, she's got vibes, right? She comes up to me and she's like, hey, just a reminder that you were not baptized. So when you get to the front, you go like this, and you don't get one. Right? And so I'm like waiting in line, I'm angry, I'm like, man, the Jews continue to be persecuted. And then so I get to the front, I drop my hands and I take it anyway. And I turned around and I was like, see you in heaven, bitch. Okay, you guys ready to get this show started? Such a treat. Your first comment tonight, one of my favorites, coming in from Toronto. You've seen her on the Johnny Carson show. Make some noise for Laura Lima, everybody.
Hi guys, this is kind of nice. Yeah, we're all together.
Yeah.
We're happy. It's spring. Who doesn't love spring? I love spring's my favorite time of year. Depression season's over. Time for those of us with year-round depression to really step into the spotlight. Strut our stuff, Gentlemen, start your engines. And close the garage door. It's hard for me to say where my depression comes from. I'm not a child of divorce, for example. I am an adult of divorce. My parents got divorced when I was 25 years old. Pretty late in the game. They wanted to stay together for the kids. They wanted to make sure that the kids never witnessed love. In the home. So as a result of this, I spent my entire childhood trying to pull what I call a reverse Parent Trap. You guys know the film Parent Trap? For those that don't, it stars a young Lindsay Lohan before she was Greek. And it's about two little twin girls, right, who concoct all of these plans to try and show their divorced parents that they belong together. Whereas when I was a kid, I would try and send my parents on activities where they had to collaborate on a task, just to sort of speed up the divorce process a bit, show them they belong with a lawyer. I was like, you guys should do The Amazing Race. You'd be good at it. I cope well with my depression. I go on a lot of walk every single day for my depression. I've noticed something on these walks, which is that no matter where I am in the whole city, people will always ask me for directions. Okay, always me, and I can be with a ton of other people, and they'll always single me out. And I couldn't figure out why for the longest time. And then I did recently realize it's because I never wear a bra. And frankly, I don't have nice enough breasts for no bra. Okay? I'd rather not describe them to you guys in any great detail. So I'll just tell you, my boobs are kind of sleepy. You know what I mean? They're a bit aimless. Right? They haven't quite picked their major. You know what I'm saying? So when people see me on my little walks, they're like, oh, she can't be far from home. Nobody would go far from home without talking that sleepy parent for the night, Those are local breaths. You know what, it's nice, me and my boobs have sort of become local guides for the community. Right? As with small boobs, let me just say, as a small-breasted Canadian, when I compliment you on your big naturals, you can just say thank you. You can just say thank you. You don't need to try and cobble together a little compliment for me. That's fine. You guys always say the same thing every time. You're always like, honestly, you're so lucky. Your breasts are so convenient. That's not a compliment. That doesn't make me feel good. I wish I had your hideous breasts. Me? I always have to buy a second seat on an airplane. Just so my breasts have somewhere to sit. I'm in financial ruin. Not a real problem. The saddest part, though, about my little pair is that I was not blessed with the breasts of my people. Okay, these are boobs I feel were my God-given right. I was not blessed with big Jew boobs. Jew boobs? They're huge. Okay, they're massive, right? But there's nothing sexual about them. Okay, they're sort of purely functional, sort of a lumbering pair, right? Just meant like feed a Polish village. Right? All the women in my family have them, except for me. And I think it's because I did not have a bat mitzvah. So God punished me, I suppose. For those who don't know, a bat mitzvah is a Jewish ceremony where you become a woman in the eyes of God and your cousin Eli. And I didn't have one. So when God, right, our God, the real God, when he was going around, doling out Jew breasts to everybody, he passed over my house, and I got stuck with these little anti-Semites. And that is the story of Passover. How'd you even know that? Couple Passover heads in the crowd? Is what I call Jews, Passover heads? No. I'm a proud Jew. It's a big part of my identity. I like being Jewish. I don't experience a lot of anti-Semitism, mostly because when I get a whiff of anti-Semitism, I just lie. Say I'm Christian, hope there are no follow-up Christianity inquiries, you know? Like, oh, you're Christian? Okay, well, shows your baptism burn scar. I don't know. I don't know what you guys do at your clubhouse. The anti-Semitism I do experience, it's pretty mild. It usually comes in the form of stereotypes. People love to tell me their favorite stereotypes about Jews. The one I hear the most often is that Jews control the media, which obviously, of all the people in this room, which one of us is holding a microphone? The Jew. You know what I mean? We also control space and time. Time is a bunch of Jews stacked on top of each other, making clock sounds. Just a fact that I read, that I wrote. I wrote it when I read it. I was like, oh, that can't be true. But it is. Because I read it and wrote it. The only time I experienced what I call like real anti-Semitism in my adult life, I was actually on stage performing. Okay, I won't say where in Sault Ste. Marie it happened. But I was on stage, I was talking about being a Jew, and this guy in the crowd starts going like, Jews. And I was like, oh God, you don't like Jews? And he said, no. Yeah, and I found out after the show he wanted a refund. Which, I'm not gonna lie, that upset me. I was very upset by that because, you know, I'm out there, right, doing the thing I love the most in the world, which is stand up. And in my mind, that guy got to go out that night and do the thing that he loves the most in the world, right? He got to be anti-Semitic. You know what I mean? He loves that, right? I gave him that. And that's the last time he even saw a Jew in person in Sault Ste. Marie that he really got to live it up, you know? You're a real anti-Semite live and in person. I bet you he thinks he's seen a Jew. Yeah, I saw a Jew a couple weeks back outside my window. Had them beady eyes, hook nose, head that spins all the way around like a demon. Of course, he's on Owlstar. Secondly, you want your money back? Who's the Jew now? You know, I don't really, but thank you so much. Everybody, more time! And now, one more time for Jew boobs. Do you love them? Excuse me, I said, do you love Jew boobs? I thought you guys were going to go more crazy for Jew boobs because you're anti-Semitic. Okay, please have a seat, sir. It's just you and the Jew boobs now. Okay, everybody, please make some noise for your next comedian. He's so funny. One of my favorites. Get loud for Thomas Aycock, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. I got this song stuck in my head. You guys have probably heard it. You know the one that goes like, don't know what you got till it's gone? I heard that. I was like, man, isn't that true? Because last week, somebody stole the catalytic converter from my car. And I did not know that I had that. Yeah, I did not know that anyone had that. I still don't know what is that, but I know that I need that. Now that that's not there. Don't know what it was converting, Jews or Christians or a lot of walking for me. I walked to Walmart yesterday and today, I go every day, and I just like to check in on my tax bracket, You know, I want to see what we're doing. And you guys ever get to the end though, and then the cashier's like, "Hey, did you find everything you're looking for?" I'm always like, "Well, what would you do about it?" Actually, I'm here because I gave up. Yeah, where were you when I needed you? Like, why are you at the end? Be at the beginning. And then even if I say no now, what are you gonna say? Aw, that sucks. Is that credit or debit? How about cash? All nickels, you know? Because when I'm in the aisles, no one wants to help me. I just always run into one teenager avoiding eye contact. And I gotta yell at him, hey, where's Beans? And then that kid's like, Beans. Yeah, let's go see. No, I don't need a buddy. I'm not assembling a search party. I just want the answer, you know? He'll say to his friend, hey, do you know where Beans are? And then that kid's like, I could use a bean. Okay, join our squad, I guess. We're just 3 bros cruising through Walmart. 2 of us work here, still no answer. One time I found the beans, and then they said thank you. I said pay me your wages for doing your only job. Why did they save all the wise ladies till the end when it's too late? They already took all your money for your compromised choices. I didn't want to get plain potatoes and barbecue sauce. I just couldn't find the chips version of that. Now I got barbecue potato slice sauce. How do they get it crispy?
Air fryer.
Thank you, sir. One time though, the kid, he told me, he's like, have you tried using the signs in the aisles? You guys ever do that? It's like aisle 9, and then 3 things that are there. By the time you find what you want, you're like, I'm so stupid. I should have known sardines are in the chocolate water battery aisle. Oh, they're not in the Ziploc bag. Cracker? Oh, you know that one's for tampons? I'm the idiot. The last thing I bought at Walmart, I got a cheese grater, but I'm not sure. Do you know what else you can buy at the store? Grated cheese. What are we gonna use? The only time I've ever used it so far is one time I put the grated cheese through the cheese grater. Just to see if it would fit. And it did. And that was satisfying. If you have OCD, that is a shot of heroin. Right into the neck. I mean, it is nice. It feels good to me. Makes me happy. One time I was sad, and so what I did, I bought a fish. And it's, now it's not in the ocean, which it's used to. It lives in a tank. So what I did, I threw in a chocolate wrapper in a can. Yeah, to recreate its natural habitat. Just like home, right, buddy? Do you want oil on top? A little ice cube, watch it melt? Every day I turn up the temperature by 1 degree. Yeah. So it's dead, it died. And boy, it's kind of fun to play God. My first extinction. My friend got mad, he's an activist. He said, don't have pets, that's mean to take animals out of the wild. I said, don't worry, this one wouldn't have made it in the wild. I tested. Yeah, it's dead, so I know that. Hey, you guys ever cut your toenails and then afterwards you play that game called Where Did They Go? How did they go? Imagine cutting a carrot, it goes missing and invisible. Hey man, where's the salad? Well, it left as I made it. So we can always get on all fours, find it by touch. Because it's also half see-through, half the color of the carpet. No matter what carpet, it's that color. And you can't dig into the carpet to find it because you just cut off your nails. So you need nails to find nails. And then a month later, you jump onto the carpet and stab your foot with an old piece of your foot. Like hidden like a sniper in the grass for 4 weeks. But at least you found the nail because it's in your foot. You guys ever play the game where you wear old lady perfume? And then you go outside and you watch everybody try to find an old lady? They'll walk right up to me. Have you seen Meredith? I'm like, yes, and I stole her scent. But don't you love those names like Meredith or Judy or like Walter? Because all those names made it, you know? Like there's a reason we never meet an old person named Kyle. Kyles don't get that far. They make mistakes before that. They write skidoos upside down. I don't even know if those are for water or snow, but neither do they. So now it's kind of weird though these days, because you can just name your kid whatever you want and then just spell it. Like you can legally name your kid Skiddity Pop, and then you can legally spell that like Steven. I met a girl, she's like, my name's Sarah, but it's actually with a Z and an O. I was like, oh, no, your name is Zorro. Yeah. Also, if your name is Brendan, Braden, or Brad, how about all of you fight till there's one left? I'm sick of this. I'm on the bully side now, man. That's all they were doing. Some kids like, actually, it's Brendan with 2 N's. And the bullies were like, how about actually? No! Don't name your kid Garrett with 2 R's and 4 T's. My kid's not gonna make it to high school. He's gonna end up crying out back with little Zorro. And then, you know, they're both very vulnerable, and now boom, teen pregnancy. Because you know, you don't have to name your kid the victim, you can just name them the bully. You know, Trevor, Josh, pretty good bully names. Sometimes though, there's like a really fine line between the two. For example, Nathan, that's definitely a bully, but Nathaniel, gonna feel an underwear stretch, you know? Gonna taste some lavatory waters. Some families play it safe, they'll use Bible names like Matthew, Mark, Luke, and those kids are usually okay, but I saw this one family, and they went Old Testament. They walked in, they were like, welcome to the world. Melchizedek and Zacharias. It's like, oh shit, well, whether this kid becomes a high priest or not, he will certainly become celibate. He will have neither friend nor hope. For here is Melchizedek. Then I found out his middle name's Darnell. What do his parents think the world's like? A little bit of old Shakespeare, a little bit of New Street. How's this kid gonna talk to girls? He's gonna be like, oh, excuse me, my most dearest Shawty. Oh, forgive me, Father, for these hoes have me tripping. Protect me from thy boom diggity. Everything's a UFO if you're a baby. The end. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Vancouver. Oh, thanks. I'm originally from Prince Edward Island. That's why I look like if Anne of Green Gables lived hard. Yep. From PEI, which of course means my mother is Irish and my father is her brother. Me, Mom, and Uncle Dad. Yeah. My dad actually used to be the publisher of the newspaper in Prince Edward Island, which is adorable that they act like there's news there. They always try to make the headlines sound really exciting, so it'll say something like, Terry Gallant is going to the Olympics. And then underneath it's like, because he bought tickets. But by far the best thing I've ever seen in the PEI newspaper has got to be this. It was front page of the paper, there's a full color photo, big headline. The first 2 lines of this story read like this. It said, I bet you'd be surprised to learn that Russell Crowe lives in Charlottetown. ... Russell the Crowe, that is. It was a full front page story of a woman who named a crow Russell. It might as well have just said, local sad woman names bird. Plus that Russell Crowe, I would have went with Raven Simone, but no one ever listens to me. And it doesn't even matter because days later, Russell Crowe was eaten by Terry Fox. Oh no! That's a true story, that bird is dead. I made a bit of a move recently. I decided I was going to follow my dreams, and I was going to move to Los Angeles, California. Yeah! And I was there for 10 days before COVID struck, and I was forced to move back in with my parents at the age of 32. Yeah, right? And if you think that's bad, I'm 37. I immediately regressed back into a 12-year-old. Like I got really back into like NSYNC, like Backstreet Boys, Spice Girls, because to me that's perfect pop music. You guys agree? Perfect pop music. And I find it crazy that nowadays we have the technology for musicians to craft entire pop albums in the comfort of their own bedrooms, and yet pop music will never be as good as when an old perv was holding auditions in his garage. I also think that women my age are using astrology to fill a void that was left by the Spice Girls. It's true. Because if you think about it, saying that you're an Aries with Scorpio rising is just the adult way of saying that you're a ginger with a little bit of scary, you know? It's true. I'm a feminist. Any other feminists here tonight? Yeah! Listen, I get it. I get that some women aren't feminists. It's like a generational thing, okay? Like my mom, for instance. I once asked my mom what her favorite song was, and she said, "Ask Your Father." No, I'm a feminist. I want equal rights for women. However, right now I would settle for equal looks for relationships, okay? I don't know if you've seen straight couples lately, but we are in crisis, folks, okay? Every time I see a straight couple walking down the street, the girl looks like Natalie Portman and the guy looks like Howie Mandel. Straight guys hate this joke, because it is too real. It's true. I think I'm just bitter though because I find that there's a very small window in a woman's life where she's able to date someone who's better looking than she is. Hear me out. Usually happens when you're 19 years old. And when I was 19 years old, I gave myself baby bangs. They took 2 years to grow out. I missed the window. Long story short, I've never slept with a guy with abs. I gave myself baby bangs when I was 19, like an idiot. Luckily, my baby bangs grew up to a beautiful Rachel. Yes. I used to have the Rachel, which is a haircut. And now I have the Jennifer Aniston, which is a lonely, childless existence. I love Jennifer Aniston. She's a survivor. She's been through it. Okay? Yeah. I read an article that said that when Jennifer Aniston was shooting Friends, she ate the same salad every day for 10 years. That's bleak, right? Same salad every day for 10 years just so that she could be thin enough to be the girl next door. Like, do you know who the guy next door was? Kramer. That's a double standard, you know? Like imagine opening up a magazine to an article that says, how to get that Michael Richards body. My God. Same salad every day for 10 years. The closest I ever came to that is I ate the same salad every day for a week once. And that's only because I discovered that you can combine French salad dressing and ranch salad dressing to make French salad dressing. And that shit's delicious. So I ate that for a week and I ran out of salad dressing and then I went and bought a burger like a normal human being. Because food's good and women should be allowed to eat, even if God forbid it means we're not as hot as Kramer, okay? Man, it feels very good to be on stage. Yeah, I'm more of a behind the scenes gal. I write for a lot of CBC shows. I don't mean to brag, but I'm kind of the Tina Fey of stuff that's on while you're at the hospital. Yeah. But I write a lot of jokes for other people, and so it doesn't really leave me a lot of time to write jokes for myself. So normally what I'll end up doing is when I'm writing jokes and I think of something that's like really good, I'll be like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna save this one for me. And I'll put it in my little notes app with my phone and save it for later. And during the pandemic, I didn't do stand-up for like 8 months. And so my first step back, I go back into my little notes thing and I'm like, all right, let's look through these genius nuggets and see what I'm gonna reveal to the audience tonight. And I look at my phone, and the only thing in my phone was this. It said, I think I'd like jizz better if it was cold. I mean, I'm not wrong. I think we can all agree that the problem with jizz is the temperature. I did that joke at a show once, and a guy came up to me afterwards, and he's like, I got some cold jizz for you. I was like, that is not a pickup line. That is a legitimate health concern, sir. As Sophie mentioned, I write for This Hour Has 22 Minutes. It's a fun job, it's cool. I happen to have the worst job on that show, which is that I have to run the 22 Minutes Twitter account. Which is hell. Yeah. Because the internet is mean, and you're not allowed to be mean back, okay? So all I can do that won't offend people is just variations on the same joke, which is, I don't know, Tim Hortons is bad and Christmas is nice, you know? So usually what happens is I just write my tweets in the morning and get it over with. One day, I was writing my tweets, I was a little bit hungover. Some people might call it still drunk, but I don't want to put a label on it. But I get my phone and I just rattle off the first thing that pops into my head, which happened to be this. I said, Ontario Premier Doug Ford says he will not run for the Conservative leadership, but he will run for a hot dog dangling from a string. It seemed like something he would do. And then I tweet that, and I throw my phone aside, and I roll over, go back to bed. An hour later, the entire internet wants me dead. Yeah. I got all these tweets back, and all these people were replying like, fat shamer, you're a fat shamer. How dare you fat shame Doug Ford? And I was like, first of all, I would never fat shame Doug Ford, okay? His weight is the most lovable thing about him. They're like, how dare you fat shame Doug Ford? The nastiest tweet I got came from Laureen Harper. And if you don't know who Laureen Harper is, she's the wife of former Prime Minister Stephen Harper. And she said this, she said, fat shaming and not at all funny. Who writes this crap? Pathetic. So this is all to say that if you're ever having a bad day, you know, if you're ever a little bit down in the dumps, just know that a woman who regularly bounces up and down on Stephen Harper's dick called me pathetic. And maybe your day will seem a bit brighter in comparison, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna go thank you guys so much. And happy New Year, everybody.
Hopefully later she'll get drunk and cheat from the 22 minute stage so she likes cold jizz. You guys ready to keep the show up? Your next comic is in town from Toronto. He is so funny. Make some noise for Brendan D'Souza, everybody!
Wow! show. I'm so surprised to be here. I did not think I was going to make it out of that today. So about 3 years now, unprecedented times, weird things to your brain, you know what I mean? Like, sorry, I don't want to get too dark off the top for you, but like, here's how bleak things got for me in the pandemic, is I had not one, but 2 crisis hotline numbers saved in my phone. Like, one of them was for suicide prevention, gross. And the other was if I ever tiptoed too close to the line thinking I could trim my own bangs. Only one of them was successful. I'm still not sure it was the right one. I don't know. Help! And like one little metal breakdown, my hair was like, hey, dress for the job you want. So I looked like a Heath Ledger starting 10 things I hate about you and then died of a drug overdose, but did it worse. Okay, too dark, cool. We got some ledge heads in the crowd, it's cool. That joke comes from a place of love. I love Heath Ledger, both count jokers. A delay, I don't see the time difference. Just for the record, this is what the unwell gays are doing when we're in crisis nowadays. We're getting mullets. Like, used to be like dyed her hair blonde, or got an earring, or joined a church, but like mullets are harder to ignore. So just do me a favor, save a life. If you have a gay friend who shows up at brunch one day with a mullet, ask them what their therapist's last name is, and if they pause to think about it, get them help. Like a mullet, like a mimosa, or like, tell them it gets better, you know? Something. A hug. I had to go back to therapy in the pandemic. Which is a very different experience than going to therapy for the first time. Yes, because like going to therapy the first time, like it's cool, everyone needs help, no shame. Going back to therapy is like doing the 5th year of high school because I just cannot learn my lesson. I like to think that less I went back to therapy, more I'm a recurring guest star in my therapist's life. Because number 1, I'm a narcissist. Number 2, it's just so much easier to like catch her up on all the plot lines she missed between seasons. You know? Like, okay, so my best friend dumped me and my boyfriend dumped me. I started a relationship, I ended a relationship, I had a meth addiction, I got sober, I lost my job, I fucked my ex, and that's what you missed on Glee. None of that is the reason I had to go back to therapy. If you'll believe it or not, I realized I had to go back to therapy because my mom kept sad reacting to my Instagram stories. Like, I thought I was doing fine, but I opened my phone, it was just like a tidal wave of weeping emojis, and I was like, Jesus, one of us needs to talk to someone. Traditionally, it's not going to be you, which is why we're in therapy. So, we're back! I love my therapist so much. I love therapists. Therapists are like a very cool kind of person who can be like abjectly rude to you and you'll feel better about yourself. Like my therapist saw me the first time, 2 years, mullet and all, she was like, you look insane. I was like, thank you for noticing. You're very good at your job. We got into our first fight recently, and that was fun. She was like, Brennan, you know, like talk therapy is not like doing what we want it to. Maybe it's time to consider going on medication. And I was like, what? Me on meds? Nah, man, I don't want to lose my edge. She was like, Brennan, 5 minutes ago you told me you cried in a Boston Pizza because the server asked, how are you? It seems like your edge is gone. I was like, okay. Points Natasha. But she was like, okay, like if you don't want to go on medication, like what are you doing to take care of yourself? And I was like, oh, I'm doing this like really great thing, you know, like self-help and all that, where I just trained my brain to sound like Superman. You know? Because it's the only way I can tolerate my thoughts. Which I highly recommend, by the way. Just like switching up the Alexa settings in your brain, it's wonderful. Like I used to have a bad day at work and come home and be like, ugh, I want to kill myself. Now I have a bad day, my brain just goes, you're in crisis, and I'm on my way. It's phenomenal. I have a bad body image day, I think bad things about myself, my brain just goes, that's bullying! Top class. I should update that reference in that joke, but whatever, I'm 27, I'm gonna live forever. That's what I was doing, is so they did like therapy and like a metric fuck ton of psychedelic drugs, and through that, I came out as non-binary pretty recently, which is hella cool. Oh wow, thank you so much. Applause for doing the bare minimum, that's fine. I'm not a hero, I'll hate that I have a penis, you know? Sorry, that's bullying! Okay. Words. I'm so glad you guys know what non-binary means, because I don't. I'm a millennial, okay? When I was growing up, we didn't have non-binary. We had 2 genders. They were Hot Wheels and Barbies. And I was like, None of the above. You know, if anything, I identify as Legos. Pretty genderless toy. I can make myself whatever I want to be, and I can fall to pieces at any moment. I've come out 3 times in my life because I love attention. And coming out as trans it's a very different ballgame than coming out as like queer or gay. So like, no one cares if you're gay anymore. Unless you're like a blood donor or a former contestant on The Bachelor, it doesn't affect people. Trans, that's something people like actively engage with, you know? They would change the pronouns they use, they would change the language they use, they would change the way they perceive you as a person, and it is super easy, but some people really struggle with it. Like every one of my coworkers was like, well, Brendan, if we can call you sir, what do we call you? And I was like, oh my god, so easy. You call me buddy, you call me pal, you call me friend, you know? There's so many good options. I know people get like nervous around the pronouns things, just like an easy cheat, keep in the back of your head. Just treat every non-binary person you meet as if they are your child, and you're telling them you're divorcing their mom. Hey kiddo. Everything's gonna be alright, you know? Coworkers were not on board with that. Coworkers were like, Brendan, this is a place of business. That's not a way to formally address someone. And I was like, I'm sorry. What classist bullshit is this? Formally addressing people in 2022? Are you a landlord? Sir or ma'am, the fuck out of here. I don't care what your gender is. Calling anyone ma'am is a form of assault. Like, quick poll of the room, ladies. When's the last time someone called you ma'am and you felt more respected? For you. Also, if you're worried about respect, you're not going far enough with sir or ma'am. Okay, a true formal address is in fact gender neutral, which is why I told every one of my coworkers to only refer to me as my liege. Those around over in the service industry see me at a restaurant, it's not sir, it's pardon me, sovereign. You need to stop bringing alcohol from home to the bar. You have to leave. Or like, I don't know, like, movie theater, you know? It's not sir, it's pardon me, your excellence. You need to stop bringing alcohol from home to the movie theater. You have to leave. Or you see me like a Tim Hortons. That's a joke. You'll never see me at a Tim Hortons. You'll never see me at that safe injection site disguised as a comedy show. So I am single, which I feel like you could tell. Like, you heard the first part of the Savage Clues are all there, right? Like, alright, it was codependency in the bedroom with the knife. There was no knife. It was a rope. Okay, no freaks in the audience. Wonder where we are. That's no. Ever since I came out as non-binary, I've been having like a really hard time dating. You know, like I was having a hard time before as well because I'm a nightmare to be in a relationship with. But it's fun to have an excuse now. I'm so happy being single. I hate dating so much. I have a condition apparently. This is a term my therapist taught me called no standards. That's the problem. Like, I can't help it. I just like it's like so hot when a guy is like attracted to me. Like, oh, you think I'm worthy and deserving of love? Well, come on over, sailor. Let's prove my mother wrong. You know? It's okay to all of that. My mom makes that joke too. No, I don't know if you know this. Low self-esteem is a terrible foundation to build a relationship on. Because, like, you know, like, there's nothing to talk about. I just get bored. I just always treat the men I date the way you treat a shampoo bottle when you forget your phone and go to the bathroom. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll get bored, so I'll pick one up and I'll be like, tell me all your secrets. And once I've learned everything interesting, I drop them and I go, time to get out of this shithole. The shithole is the relationship. Or like traditionally the relationship is a shithole. But you know, like frankly, I do consider men to be a single-use plastic. Like they have one use, baby. You can't recycle them. And what do? You gotta worry about some other poor animal choking on something you carelessly threw out. It's just not for me. I'm monogamous, not because I'm a jealous person, because I'm an environmentalist. You're welcome. You know, I date men exclusively because my family didn't pray hard enough. My dad, wherever you are, please go to church this weekend. I would love to stop dating white guys who think Doritos are spicy. Do it for the Father and the Son, you know. Sorry, I don't have a problem with white people. I feel like I need to say that. I don't have a problem with white people specifically. I just have to stop dating white guys because having sex with white guys is tricky for me because I'll keep trying to set a rhythm and then he'll keep speeding it up. Do you know what I mean? That's fine, it's cool. White people don't like clapping for that joke because it proves the point, and that's completely My last relationship ended because my boyfriend did something unforgivable. He broke up with me. It's like, there's no future here, you may go. This was a mutual decision. No, the reason we broke up is like we just like had different interests. Like he's like really into like movies and like music and TV. I'm really into sleeping in my bed, not being touched. So, but then like on top of that, and this is the insane part, this Yahoo wanted me, Brendan D'Souza, no asexual, agender, anxiety-ridden basket case, to have an open relationship, which is just a real melanoma of a situation. Okay, don't get me wrong, I think polyamory is great for everyone else, but I'm a middle child, and I don't need constant fear of someone bigger than me taking what I'm playing with. Do you know what I mean? I do support polyamory. I think everyone should try it. Everyone should try a new relationship. So if you want to try an open relationship, here's what I did to get through it. It's a life hack, works like a charm, is every time my partner had sex with someone else, I would watch an episode of something we were supposed to watch together. It's called balancing the scales, where it's like a treat. I was like, buddy, go have your fun, but I'm finishing Drag Race on my own. You know? One time he went to an orgy, I binge watched season 2 before I got. Oh, baby! It was not worth it. That show was garbage. I think we get gonorrhea afterwards, you know, so scales balance. Thank you so much about everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, so right off the bat, I'm just gonna tell you what I am, okay? Because I have lots of jokes, but I'm aware of how racially ambiguous I look. I've learned unless I explain that, you can't really enjoy the material. You're too distracted trying to figure out what sort of brown I am, right, sir? I am. You don't want to laugh too soon. What if I'm one of the browns you don't like, right? I know. Get out of the way. Yeah, I don't think you're racist, but I just needed to fall back to that. What's your name, sir? Sean. Classic racist name for the record. I look this way, Sean, and for anyone else who's wondering, because my mom is Chinese and my dad is Jewish. So now you know, Chinese plus Jew somehow equals homeless Aladdin. Which I'm fine with. Good combination. Came in handy when I was younger. I could meet women. I didn't have to come up with my own pickup lines. I would just recycle Aladdin dialogue. We go to clubs, I'd be like, do you trust me? I do trust him for some reason. So that's a strange urge to bang a street rat. Yeah, that's a little Disney crush. And I exploited it all through my youth. So it came in handy when I was younger. Being this racially ambiguous will also come in handy in the future, because let's be honest, we got maybe 5-10 years of society left, right? And after that, it comes down, and what happens next? Race wars, right? Yeah, and I say bring them on, because I can pretend to be whoever wins. So, I'm fine with it. Some nervous laughter from those of you in the audience who are as white as the driven snow, because you know it's not going to go so well for you, sir. They're going to come to you first in the race wars. And it's not your fault, you're probably a nice dude, right? A very ethnically diverse friend group, but there's going to be no time to explain that in the race wars. There's going to be time to explain that. I was actually an ally. They'll already be bludgeoning you. And I'll be part of the mob. Yeah, absolutely, Sean get got. And I'll be part of the group doing the bludgeoning, going, let's get him essays, you know? Because I've lied my way onto the Latino team in this scenario, yes. I do think that Hispanics are going to win the race wars. And on that day, Mike Green becomes Miguel Verde. Smooth transition. That's so fuckers, right? Super easy. Yeah, my mom is a Chinese one. She actually has an amazing story. She's ethnically Chinese, but she was born in Vietnam. She escaped communist Nam, and she was in a refugee camp, and she could have gone to Australia. They accepted her, but she decided to stay in the refugee camp. Why would she do that? Great question, Sean, great question. She stayed in the refugee camp because her younger brother and sister weren't accepted into Australia, and she didn't want to leave them alone. So she stayed till they all go somewhere together, and that was Canada. And it was easier to get into Canada if you were younger, so she lied on her application. She made herself younger, but she was also a big joke with her broken English. But a big joke on the Canadian government. She laughs and she laughs. 30 years later, the joke would be on her, because she cannot legally retire, unfortunately now. Very serious actually. She has to work till she's 82. Big jokes is a big consequence. That's what she's going to do. She is missing out on a lot of pension money, but that's just a high stakes to play for in the refugee game. Some of you are laughing at that. Fine, you can laugh at that. My mom's not here, okay? She's at home resting. She got a big work day tomorrow. Big work day. Big Josie's a big work day. That's what she did. I'll take it easy on that lady. She wouldn't have to work hard if I just moved out, but I refuse to do that, so, you know. Set an alarm, Mom. Just kidding, I moved out. I bought my own place. I'm very proud of it. First time homeowner. I bought my own place in the fall of 2019 because I was doing pretty good. I was getting a lot of gigs, and I was like, you know what? I think I can afford this place, and as long as it doesn't become illegal to travel or congregate in groups, then it should work out pretty good. Even if one becomes illegal, what are the odds that both become illegal, you know? For more than 2 weeks, no chance. Things changed, had to pivot. I rent my spare bedroom now. I rent my spare bedroom. It's the only way the books balance. As I already told you, I'm a Chinese Jew, so I know how to balance the books, okay? If I were to look at the finances, figured out I have to Airbnb my spare room to make this work. Which is fine. Actually, I like being a host. I like people, you know, seeing the city, and I'm an ambassador for it. I like being, I don't mind. But it is crazy to me how many people don't read the listing and think they've rented a whole home. Yeah, so they show up, and I'm like giving them the tour, and then it gets to the end of the tour, and they're looking at me like, are you gonna leave so we can have sex? And I'm like, no, we're roommates now. It's the 3 of us for the next 48 hours. You know? You guys want to do board games or watch a show? Like, I'm down for whatever. But I will be here. What's crazy is how many people don't read the listing and show up expecting to have sex. And what's even crazier is how many people do read the listing and show up expecting to have sex. They don't care that I'm going to be there. I priced my place appropriately for what I thought was attracting travelers, and I'm just pulling in fornicators. That's all I said. $50 a night, people want to use my place for all sorts of illicit sex. Affairs, I have booked affairs. Very first booking was an affair. Confirmed it with the lady after. We had a nice talk. She was a great lady, aside from the adultery, obviously. But yeah, it's crazy. And, you know, look, at the end of the day, do I love being a fan of illicit sex? Actually, yes. Okay? These people are phenomenal guests. They don't stay the night because they have to get home to their respective partners. So I get the place mostly to myself. They're super easy to attract. Before, I had this whole long description, all these paragraphs, why you should stay in my place, all the amenities. After I saw the first couple guests, I erased all that. Now it just says, discreet. 0 vacancies. No solid, killing it. I thought I was killing it because after the first month, I was like, wow, I need $1,200 renting my spare room. Yeah. Then I totaled my expenses. I spent $1,300 on bleach. Okay? Cleaning expenses through the roof. Don't want to touch anything in my own home, so it's a compromise. But I get one other kind of booking consistently. Aside from affairs, I get one other kind of fornicator, and there's another way to say it. It's like these 20-year-old interracial couples. It'll be like a young black guy and then a young Filipino girl or white girl. And I can't help but get too involved. Like I see them and I start getting this backstory in my mind about how they're like persecuted at home, their families don't accept them, they need my place as like an oasis, you know? They don't need that from me. But I can't help it. I'm showing them around. I'm like, yeah, so Wi-Fi's on the board and titles are there and you're safe here. I accept you. Sir, can you please get out of our room? I'm like, oh yeah, sorry. Then I go to my room and I listen at the wall. I'm trying to get off, you know? I'm trying to be the only one in my Airbnb on K-pop. Come on. Why else do you host it? I'm like, come on, you know? I'm just kidding. I don't even like mixed couples. No, to be clear, I'm fine with interracial couples, but I don't like mixed couples, okay? Let's just say glasses, no glasses, this is never gonna work, okay? Horrifying.
You wear the glasses.
Look, I don't want to attack you, sir. To be clear, I wear glasses myself, okay? But I'm wearing my contacts right now because I want to look my best. No offense.
Just to, you know, cover up my superhero abilities.
Just yeah, you're Clark Kent? Sure, bro. Okay. I can't use that in taping, but thank you for that moment, sir. No, all I'm saying is, like, I'm on your side, I'm a glass wearer, and I'm just saying, the non-glasses people, they don't understand our struggle. That's why I don't think those couples are going to work out, okay? You have to be on the same page, because the non-glasses wearers, they don't understand our struggle, sir. They don't understand, you know, it's harder to look your best. And the worst part about wearing glasses, for those of you who don't wear glasses, okay, now I'm on side of it. Yeah, this I'm cool with it. Look, all I'm saying is, you 2020 people, you don't understand, okay? Our struggle is different. And it's not just struggling to look your best, it's not the actual lack of vision. The worst part about wearing glasses is when your glasses get knocked off your face, you can't help but say, my glasses! It just comes out of you. That's not who I am. I've worked my whole life not to be my glasses! Right? You know what I can bench press? Even if I told you, you wouldn't believe it. But it doesn't matter how strong you are. When they go flying, you panic, you turn this loser. And nobody's step, everybody shuffle. They're around here, right? Doesn't matter if you're French. Mais lunettes! You know? It's awful.
It's because they're so expensive, that's the problem.
That's also a big part of it. As I told you, sir, I'm a Chinese Jew. I know how expensive the glasses are.
She got laser eye surgery, and I was told I didn't get it because I couldn't shoot lasers out of my eyes, so I didn't get my laser eye.
Blame, this doesn't come off my time, right? This
Yeah.
Leave the laser jokes to me, sir. No, look, I was once on a date with a woman, and I wore my contacts, and I wanted to look my best. Again, no offense. But my eye was dry, and I went to scratch my eye. My contact lens folded up and fell out, and I caught it right in front of her. Yeah, in that moment, I would have killed for my contact! I wish that's what I said. What I actually said was I said, I just let out this cowardly moan, like I was a little kid on the playground and a bigger kid punched me. I'm like, I'm an adult. Not a successful date, okay? Suffice it to say, they don't go home with you once they see a piece of your face fall out of your face. That's not a good look. And that's a pro tip for anybody here who's on a date. You can't just lose body parts and expect to go home with someone, okay? You can't just start coughing up teeth like chiclets and go, you want to get out of here? I didn't want to get out of there, but not with you. You're gross. I will get out of here right away, and I will say, I hope you all follow me on Instagram. My handle is MikeGreen.OnlyFans. Not real OnlyFans. Unless I get enough followers, and let's see what sort of content you want, right? But no, I have to explain that because I share a name with a much more famous Mike Green who used to play in the NHL. And so, you know, he's obviously getting millions more followers because of the accidental clicks, right? People want to follow me and the accidental clicks. It's ridiculous. You guys don't believe me. I know that's what's happening because sometimes it happens the other way, right? Sometimes women message me and they're like, oh my God, are you the Mike Green who used to play for Detroit? And I have to explain to them, yes, I am. Big joke. Okay. You guys are doing great. Thank you very much.
Nothing like a courtroom drama, right? Don't you love a courtroom drama? I love a courtroom drama. Well, look, I love drama, period. Put it in a courtroom? Okay, now we're cooking, right? So much funny, bizarre stuff happens in a courtroom that we all accept that it's regular. Like, have you ever seen this happen? Where one lawyer, whoever, makes a statement, okay? They're like, Your Honor, the bad guy was seen being bad by someone that said so, right? You see that, right? And then the other lawyer maybe doesn't like that, and he objects. Objection, Your Honor! He says, objection, Your Honor! Not